In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus talks about the practice of righteousness. He says, "Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be honored by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be done in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. And when you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray, standing in the synagogues and on the street corners to be seen by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you pray, go in your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. When you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, for they disfigure their faces to show others they are fasting. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting, and only your Father who is unseen will see. And what is done in secret, he will reward you." Fasting, praying, giving to the poor. These are the things that Jesus says are the practice of righteousness. And he insists that we don't do them publicly to be seen by others, because if we do, that will be our reward. But we have to do them in secret so that only God sees. And he says God will reward you if you fast in secret, if you pray in secret, if you give to the poor in secret. God will reward you. This is the practice of righteousness. This is the action of righteousness. This is putting the righteousness of Christ into action. We see that Jesus fasted for 40 days in the wilderness. We see that Jesus prayed constantly before he called his disciples to him, the 12 apostles. He prayed all night long. We see that Jesus gave to the poor. There were thousands of people following him, and they didn't have enough food, and he couldn't send them away or they would faint on the way. So he fed thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. God wants you to feed people. God wants you to pray. God wants you to fast. This is what Jesus defines as the practice of righteousness. And when you practice righteousness, God will reward you. Jesus said so.